So here we are. We just arrived in Vergina. It's about a 2.5 hour drive from Nafpakto and a little over 4 hours from Athens. This is one of the most important archaeological sites in all of Greece. It's the burial place of the ancient Macedonian kings, including Philip II, the father of Alexander the Great. We're about to go inside and see the royal tombs and some of the most breathtaking discoveries ever found in Greece.
사람 없을 때 봐야 돼. 저 여기 있어요, 선생님? 저 여기 있네? 앞에, 선생님 여기. 저 소리 들고 있어. 아니, 어떡해.
So this is Tomb 4, one of the royal tombs here in Vergina. It's on the edge of the Great Tumulus, and sadly it was looted a long time ago. Even the stones were reused for other buildings. All that's left now is part of the floor, the base of one wall, and the columns that once decorated the front. But from the fragments archaeologists found, they were able to piece together what it looked like. A classic Macedonian-style tomb, with one chamber and a small temple facade. They even found little pieces of ivory and glass that once belonged to an elaborate couch, and a few terracotta figurines. A coin discovered here helped date the tomb to around the 3rd century BC. That was during the reign of King Adigonos Gonatas. These incredible frescoes were found inside what's known as the tomb of Persephone. They tell the story of Persephone being kidnapped by Hades, the god of the underworld, and taken away on his chariot. What makes this artwork so remarkable is that it's one of the very first examples of Greek art where the artist used real movement with depth and emotion. Techniques that had never been done like this before. You can almost feel the motion of the horses, the rush of the chariot, and the fear on Persephone's face as she was pulled away. It's hard to believe these paintings are over 2,300 years old, and yet they still manage to bring this ancient myth to life.
Σημαντικά πρόσωπα δεν τα έφευγαν αυτούς. Τα έφυγαν, δεν τα θάψουν. Και εδώ βλέπω ότι απέμπηκε από αυτή τη φωτιά. Ο Αλέξανδρος βγήκε για να γραφτεί την ξύλινη οικονόμη. Μέσα αυτό βάζει προσωπικά ανοιχτότητα. Βάζει μέσα άλλο σκυλιά, καρδιά με τρόφιμα, με ποτά. Το φίλο του καπνού πάνω σε ένα κρεβάτι και ξεκινάει να φυτεφρώνει τα πάντα. Και βγάζει το φίλο του, φίλος του Ιάσου. Νομίζω ότι το καλά του συντάκτες. Δεν έπαιρνε ένα μέσα και ρώτησε άμεση.
This delicate piece of gold and purple cloth once wrapped the bones of a woman buried in the antechamber of the royal tomb, a small little room on the side. Imagine this fabric is over 2,300 years old. It's woven with gold thread, the kind of luxury reserved only for Macedonian royalty. Most historians believe this woman was part of the royal family, possibly one of Philip II's wives. This golden wreath belonged to the wife of Philip II, the same woman that was buried in the antechamber of his tomb. It was made to look like branches of myrtle leaves, all crafted from gold, and it was placed carefully on her couch, made of gold and ivory. Even the smallest details were made to symbolize royalty, eternity, and light. Absolutely stunning. This gold chest, or larnax, held the bones of a royal young woman, believed to be Philip II's wife. How many wives did Philip II have? Her name was Princess Mida of Thraki. Supposedly, she followed him to the underworld after his death. He died in 336 BC. Inside the larnax, archaeologists found an intricate golden crown, fit for a queen. The box itself was placed inside a marble sarcophagus, which is basically a stone coffin. By the way, the word sarcophagus actually comes from the Greek word of flesh and to eat. Kind of spooky, right? But all it means is that the stone was thought to help the body decompose faster. The ancient Greeks had a word for everything. This quote comes from an ancient historian, Theopompos, who wrote, "Europe had never before produced such a man as Philip, the son of Amindas." Philip II was truly one of a kind. He was a brilliant strategist and the father of Alexander the Great. You can actually see in his portrait that his right eye was damaged. He was struck by an arrow during battle, but he survived and kept leading his army. That scar became part of his legend, a mark of both strength and resilience. Here we have the tomb of Philip II, father of Alexander the Great. This is one of the most important discoveries ever made in Greece. It's a grand Macedonian tomb with 2 chambers and a temple-like facade.
Μένια αγκία για τις γιορτές του πρίγκιπα, τον άλλον. Τα περισσότερα αγκία εδώ πίσω μας είναι γνωστά. Ένα αγκία όμως το οποίο δεν έχουν τη μέση τιμής και παρουσιάζει ιδιαίτερο ενδιαφέρον είναι αυτό εδώ στη μέση. Ένα ψαροπινάκι. Πάνω στο πιάτο είναι τα ψάρια. Αυτό ξανά είναι το βήμα του τάφου πρίγκιπα. Ουσιαστικά μόνο δύο πράγματα δεν έχουν είναι αυτή η λιτία πάνω στο υποδικό ικονοστάσιο της μια λάμπα της εποχής και αυτό το εργαλείο που λέγεται στην Αιγίδα και φωτογράφια. Το πώς βρέθηκε ο τάφος του πρίγκιπα από τον καθηγητή. Τα αντικείμενα βρέθηκαν πεσμένο στο έδαφος. Γιατί άραγε. Θα πάω σε ξύλα ράφια, τους άφησε και αυτό. Αλλιώς θα τα έπαιρνε μαζί τους. Και αρματοδρομίες περιτρέχει το προθάλαμο, ένα ομηρικό έθιμο το οποίο τελούνταν στις ταφές πολύ σημαντικών προσώπων βασιλιάδων. Τα φώτα στα αριστερά και στα δεξιά η κορφή του αρχαιολόγου. Όπως στην Ελλάδα και μεγάλωσε το Σιλωμάνα στη Θεσσαλονίκη. Αυτός ο άντρας ήταν αμέσως στην ιδέα να προστατεύσει τον αρχαιολογικό χώρο το χέρι του Παστασία. Το κτίριο αυτό αποτελεί ουσιαστικά αναπαράσταση της πραγματικής του βάσης δεν αλλάζει. Δεν αλλοιώνει ιδιαίτερα την μορφή του περίπτωση καρκίνο. Μας άφησε στις 30 Μαρτίου το 1992. Άφησε όμως πίσω.
This place is really something special. You can actually feel the history here. It's peaceful, it's powerful, and it's just beautiful. So if you ever get a chance to come visit Vergina, it's so worth it. All right, that wraps up our visit here in Vergina. Next, we're heading to a nearby town of Veria for a quick bite to eat, and then it's on to Thessaloniki. Just warm? Dip it in the olive oil. Okay. Oh, ωραία.
Να σας όρεξε.
Ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Oh my god, this looks good. It's got pieces of meat, beef. So good. It's syrupy on the bottom. So good. I get it. This Revani is sick. Highly recommend it. Let's do a little room tour. Here's the bathroom. Oh, they've got a blow dryer. What's this? Okay. Not bad. I don't know about the red, but I asked for a balcony, but I didn't get one. So this is it. Nothing to write home about. Simple. This here is Tsimiski Street. It's Thessaloniki's main shopping avenue. It's named after a Byzantine emperor, John Tsimiski, and it's been the heart of the city's shopping scene for more than 100 years. After the big fire in 1917, this whole area was rebuilt, and Tsimiski became a go-to street for everything, from international brands to little Greek boutiques. It's always busy, especially on weekends, with locals walking, shopping, and stopping for coffee or something sweet. If you want to feel the real pulse of the city, this is where you come. Those culottes, I guess they're in style. I'm seeing people wear them. Here's sugar-free. Oh. This is Aristotelous Square, the heart of Thessaloniki. It was designed after the Great Fire of 1917 by a French architect named Ernest Hébrard, who completely reimagined the city's center. He wanted to give Thessaloniki a European feel while keeping touches of the Byzantine past, so you'll notice the arches, the columns, and all that symmetry. The square faces the sea, and it's framed by two famous buildings, the Electric Palace Hotel on one side and the Olympian Cinema on the other. It's named after Aristotle, who was actually born not too far from here. Today, this is where everything happens. Concerts, parades, New Year's celebrations, or just people meeting for coffee. It's the city's main gathering spot, day and night. Those two right there. The chocolate and the hazelnut. I'm gonna get those shoes. So here's what the apartments look like downtown. Department store. It's all the name brands. Check out Marks and Spencer. Whole building. Oh, this would be so awesome to live down here. Here's a church right in the middle. Ladadika. Oh, they got the summer stuff on sale. I'm looking for winter shoes. Either boots or those loafer thingies. I don't know yet. I might come and get those tennis shoes though for 35 euros. Apartments. Συγγνώμη, εγώ δεν κοίταζα μπροστά μου.
Εγώ δεν κοίταζα.
Αγία Σοφία. This here is Thessaloniki's waterfront, or Paralia as the locals call it. It stretches for miles along the sea, and it's lined with cafes, gardens, and walking paths. Bike routes, people jog. It's amazing. It's one of the longest urban promenades in Europe, and one of the most loved. People come here every evening for their volta, which means that slow sunset stroll by the water, you know. From the White Tower all the way down to the port, you can really feel how the city lives with the sea. It's peaceful, social, and absolutely beautiful. thought this building was tumbling over. But I guess it's designed like that. Look at that. Oh, it's a hotel. Who's that? Botsis. Okay. This is the White Tower, Thessaloniki's most famous landmark. It sits right on the edge of the sea. It was built in the 15th century by the Ottomans right after they captured the city, and it originally served as part of the city's seawalls. Back then it wasn't white at all. It was a fortress, and later a prison known as the Tower of Blood, because it was used for executions. Pretty dark history for such a beautiful building, right? There's even a legend that one of the prisoners was offered his freedom if he whitewashed the entire tower. And that's how it got its new name, the White Tower. That's what it's called today. No one knows for sure if it's true, but it's such a powerful story that it's even being told till today. So today the tower's history has completely turned around. It's now a museum, and if you climb all the way up to the top, you get one of the best panoramic views of Thessaloniki and the Thermaiko Gulf. It's definitely worth the climb. I think the ticket was €6. I didn't save it. It was either €5 or €6 to get in. Totally worth it. It's far. Are we there yet? Yes, us. Oh my goodness. Right next to the White Tower, there's this pretty little fountain with an angel in the middle. It doesn't have any big historical story. It's a newer addition, but it really adds to the beautiful atmosphere down here by the water. Between the sea, the music, and the people walking by, it's just one of those spots that makes Thessaloniki feel so alive. Just next to the White Tower is the Vasiliko Theater, or the Royal Theater. It was built back in 1940 as the main stage for the National Theater of Northern Greece. Over the years, it's been through a lot. It even served as a military theater during World War II. But today, it's been completely restored and is one of the city's main cultural landmarks. They still hold plays, concerts, and big events here. And it's such a beautiful building to see up close, especially at night when it's all lit up by the sea. Right across from the White Tower is the Thessaloniki International Exhibition Center. It's been around since 1926, and every September it hosts the big international fair. The Greek Prime Minister even gives his annual speech here. It's one of those places that shows how alive and modern Thessaloniki is. Philip II, the King of Macedonia. So right here in the center of Thessaloniki, you can actually walk through what's left of the palace of Galerius. It dates back to the early 4th century AD and was built by the Roman Emperor Galerius Maximianos, who ruled around the year 300 AD. This whole area, Navarino Square, used to be part of this massive palace complex. It included courtyards, bathhouses, banquet halls, even an octagonal reception room where he met with officials. Imagine almost 1700 years ago, this was one of the grandest palaces in the Roman Empire. What's really wild is that all of this sits right in the middle of modern Thessaloniki. You've got cafes, apartment buildings, and shops all around you. But beneath it are layers of history. You're probably wondering, what is she talking about, Roman Empire? We're in Greece right now. Well, let me explain. In 146 BC, Rome conquered Greece after defeating the last of the Greek city-states, and from that point on, Greece became a province of the Roman Empire. But instead of destroying Greek culture, the Romans admired it. They adopted Greek art, architecture, and even religion. So by the 4th century AD, the Emperor Galerius came along. Thessaloniki was a major Roman city. It was part of the eastern half of the Roman Empire, the part that would later become known as the Byzantine Empire. The Arch of Galerius, or Camara, as locals call it, was actually built as part of this same palace complex. It connected the emperor's palace with the rotunda, which you can still see standing just a few minutes away. We're going to go to that next. The arch was built to celebrate Galerius's military victories, and back in the day it would have been decorated with marble, showing his battles and triumphs. Today it's one of the most photographed spots in Thessaloniki. These carvings on the Arch of Galerius, or Camara as we call it, they tell the story of the emperor's victories over the Persians. That was around the year 300 AD. You can see him here on horseback. He was leading his army into battle and later being crowned by the gods to show his power and glory. The details are really incredible. Roman soldiers, Persian warriors, even scenes of tribute being offered to Galerius after the war. It's amazing that after more than 1700 years, so much of this is still here, right in the middle of modern Thessaloniki. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just amazed at this. So just a few steps away from the Camara, the arch, we have the rotunda. Now this is very interesting. It was built in 306 AD by Emperor Galerius, but historians aren't 100% sure what it was meant to be. Maybe it was meant to be a mausoleum for Galerius, or maybe a temple dedicated to Zeus or the gods. But then Galerius died before it was ever used for that purpose. After that, a couple of decades later, when Christianity became the empire's official religion, the rotunda was turned into a Christian church. During Byzantine times, it was known as the Church of St. George, and that's still what the Greeks often call it today, Agios Georgios. The inside is covered in beautiful mosaics, gold angels and saints, some of them the oldest Christian mosaics in the world. Later, during the Ottoman times, it even became a mosque, and that's why there's still a minaret, is that what it's called? Minaret, beside it today. You can still see traces of all the layers of history here. Roman, Christian, and even Ottoman, all in one place. It is spectacular in there, and humongous. Well worth seeing it if you're in Thessaloniki. St. George up there. Look. Oh my goodness. Those are all little squares. One by one. I guess this is what it looked like. Here's the university. One of the buildings. These old stones are actually part of Thessaloniki's ancient city walls. built in Roman times and later rebuilt by the Byzantines. You'll see little pieces like this all over the city. History just blending right into everyday life. Absolutely amazing. Kuluri. This old bookstore. Eggs Benedict. I want to cry about how good this is. They've got the self-serve thing. You put it in here, and it automatically knows what you got. So let's see what I got here. I paid $46.13. These sweatpants, but they're like that on the bottom. They look so comfy. And this sweater. These are from H&M. This one was $27.99. Look at it. And the pants were $17.99. I think that'll be a cute outfit. And then that was from H&M. And then from Stradivarius, I got a pair of black pants. Drawstring, but nice material. How much were those? $19.99. And just a white shirt. I needed a shirt. $19.99. And that's it. 2 outfits. I really didn't need them, but, you know, had to get something. And I really like what I got. And of course you can mix and match that. You can put the white shirt underneath the sweater with the blue pants. Love it. So to end my day, I headed to Ladadika, one of Thessaloniki's liveliest areas, especially at night. The name actually comes from the word for olive oil, ladi, because this used to be the city's old trading district. The merchants stored their oil and goods here. Today, all those old warehouses have been turned into restaurants, tavernas, and bars. The cobblestone streets, the music, the lights, it's the perfect place to sit outside, enjoy some meze. Thessaloniki comes to life here after dark. For dinner, I ordered sudzukakia. Oh my god, they were so good. These were brought to Greece by refugees from Smyrna back in the 1920s, and they're made with ground beef or a mix of beef and pork, and they're flavored with garlic, cumin, and cinnamon. Served over, sometimes they're served over red sauce. Mine was on pita bread with yogurt. Absolutely delicious. As I walked back to my hotel that night, I realized how much Thessaloniki had surprised me. I didn't expect to fall in love with it this much. The food, the history, the people, the sea, it all just feels alive here. But the journey doesn't stop. Next, I'm heading up into the mountains to a beautiful village of Metsovo for a brand new adventure in a completely different side of Greece. So stay tuned for my next video. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.